All right, takes a couple minutes to go live here on StreamYard. Let's see who we got here for our Thursday Q&A, baby. Let's see what we've got. We're going to go live here on TikTok as well. Let's see what we've got. Going live on TikTok in 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right, today is Thursday. On Thursdays, if you've been following me for a little while, if you haven't been stuck in a cave, Thursdays inside our Facebook group, on our YouTube platform, and LinkedIn business page as well. Sometimes I do it on TikTok. When going live on TikTok. On Thursdays, we'll have a Q&A day where you can ask me any question on sales or selling. Now, here's what's going to help you better get your question answered. When you ask me a question, you've got to let me know what industry you sell. And like, do you do inbound leads or outbound leads? Okay, because there's some tweaks depending on what you sell in inbound and outbound leads. If I know what you're doing, I can better answer your question. Otherwise, I have to make it a very generic answer that's not going to help you that much. All right. So when you ask a question, say, I sell this, I sell insurance, I sell cybersecurity, I sell medical device sales, I sell cars, I sell high ticket, whatever you do. And my question is this. What's up, Kim, on YouTube? And my question is this. I also do inbound leads or outbound leads or whatever. All right. Now, if you are brand new to our Facebook group, okay, or if you're brand new to maybe you just started following me on YouTube, or maybe you started following me on LinkedIn the other day, or maybe you're following me here on TikTok. We're not going live on IG because I think we got into the DMs too much on IG and they shut us down for 24 hours. Son of a biscuit. What are we going to do? So those IG people are just left hanging in the woods. All right. That's why you always want to join the Facebook group, because we go live in there all the time. So my name is Jeremy Miner. I'm the chairman and founder of 7th Level. We are an organization that trains salespeople exactly like you watching me here right now. So we train sales professionals like you. We train executives like you. We train sales leaders, management like you, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs like you, and we train you and your teams how to sell by using techniques, certain questions that work with human behavior instead of work against it. That might be important for you to start learning. Maybe, I don't know, just throwing it out there. Now, we have to show you the right tonality, right? We have to help you trigger them to want to engage, to want to open up, and eventually pull us in, because that's when selling becomes very easy rather than trying to push and put sales pressure on them, because as you know, you get rejected a lot. You get a lot of objections when you do that. It doesn't work. Push-pull dynamic. Now, if you're on the live right now, I'm going to have you post hashtag live. So go down. If you're on the live right now here on the TikTok phone, go post hashtag live. If you're in the Facebook group or YouTube or LinkedIn, I want you to go post hashtag live. And if you're on the replay, go post hashtag replay. All right. So post hashtag live if you're on the live, hashtag replay if you're on the replay. And I want you to smash the heart button and smash the like button. I better see hundreds of smashed hearts and hundreds of smashed likes. Otherwise, I'm just not going to answer your questions. Like, I can go out and golf here. There's a golf course locally. It's a really nice day here in Scottsdale. It's like 67 degrees. I just go golf. It's not too late. I can do 9 holes right now. I could probably do 9. I could get 9 in. It's what, 4:15 here? I could do 9. Yeah, I could still do 9 before. Well, maybe close. All right. So hashtag live, hashtag replay. All right. And then I'm going to answer your questions. All right. Let's start with the first question here. Now, hey, you want to start learning advanced sales techniques. You want to start being like our clients. You want to start making your first $10,000 a month in commissions or 15 grand a month. I'm dead serious when I say this. We have thousands of clients who do this every month now. You want to start making 20 grand a month every month in commissions. Or maybe you want to start making 25 or 30 grand a month or 40 grand a month plus in your industry right now with what you sell right now. Message me directly right now. So if you're on LinkedIn and TikTok, message me directly right now. If you're in the Facebook group or my Facebook business page, got about 100,000, now about 80,000 followers on the Facebook business page, about 40,000 on the Facebook group, message me directly right now. If you're on YouTube, post hashtag NEPQ, and either myself or one of my surrogates, one of my stunt doubles will message you back some different training options for your industry if you want to make those type of commissions. Now, if you don't want to make more money, you don't have to either. It's a free world we live in for the most part. All right. All right. Let's get going here. Let's go with the first question here. I'm going to start over here in snowing here in Wisconsin. Tim, oh my gosh. Okay. Let's start with Brian Scarberry. This is a good one. I sell health insurance. Train thousands in that space, actually. Train a big company. Have you ever heard of what is it called? Is it United Healthcare? Is that who we train now? We just picked up some big company. All right. I don't have much luck with the can you help me with something as an opening line for the leads. Is there a better way you suggest to open them up and disarm sales pressure? Well, first of all, if they're a lead, you would never say, can you help me with something? That doesn't make any sense. Are you talking about a cold call? Even on a cold call, you wouldn't say, can you help me with something? Okay. And Brian, I don't know if you're one of our clients or if you've just picked up some free content here and there. If you're just going through some free content, obviously you wouldn't know what to do from basic content, right? You're going to have to be in our advanced 3.0 or advanced inner circle to actually understand a cold call from start to finish that gets the prospect to want to open up. If you just take a freebie and you know like 10%, but if they say this or that and you don't know how to react, then you're still going to lose the sale. That's why you probably want to be one of our clients, because we train thousands in your industry that make 20, 30,000 plus a month in commissions with what you sell, just so you're aware. So message me directly right now. Now, if you're cold calling, okay, because I don't know, you said you're calling leads, but leads, you would never start off with a cold call. Leads are more like, okay, so John, let's say it's an outbound lead that responded to some ad or called in requesting information. You're calling back. Hey, is John there? John, hey, yeah, it's just Brian Scarberry with XYZ company. Looks like you had called into our office requesting different possible quotes on different insurance so you could maybe get a better rate. And I just had time to get back to you to see if I could help. Did I get you at a bad time? You don't want to say a good time because they'll say, no, it's not a good time. Did I get you at a bad time? Yeah, no, that's not a bad time. Well, I should start off by asking you, and you go right into your first connecting question. Now, that's on an outbound lead. If you're cold calling, it would be much different. It'd be more like a problem statement. Okay, so I don't know which one you do, but just message me directly if you want training options for your industry. We quite literally train thousands in your industry that make 20, 25, 30, 40,000 plus a month in commissions in your exact industry. Okay, let's keep going here. Austin from YouTube. Logistics industry. How do I overcome the objection they don't want to work with my company? Well, first of all, Austin, I need more context. Why did they say they don't want to work with your company? Are they saying that at the beginning of a call? Are they saying that in the middle of a call? Or are they saying that when you're trying to close them? Because depending on which one of those would be dependent on what you would actually ask and say. So I need to know more details to answer that question, because I'd be throwing mud up against the wall. Try to message me directly if you're in the Facebook group, or try to post it down here, because you're going to have to give me more context on that question. All right. Let's see here. Facebook user, I can't see your name here. It doesn't show me. I sell high ticket coaching, train thousands in that industry too. Outbound sales. Okay. Do you mean like you're calling outbound leads who've responded to an ad like on Facebook or YouTube or something? I get objection of, I need to find the money. Okay. Are you getting that objection at the end when you're trying to close them? Okay. So if it's a money objection, that's really, really simple. Okay. First of all, let me show you something here. Should I show them something on the whiteboard? I'll show them on something on the whiteboard. Hopefully they can see it. Would they be? Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So, don't move too close to the screen or I can't see your whole face. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Don't move close to the screen. IGM or TikTok, I'm coming over to your questions in just a second. Okay. All right. So if it's a money objection, it's really simple. All right. Very, very simple. Okay. Let's see. High ticket coaching. I get objection. I need to find the money. Yeah, that's not a problem. Now, when they say I need to find the money, are they saying they don't have the money? I'm assuming that's what they're saying. Like, I don't have the money, I need to find it. I'm assuming that's what they're saying. You simply say, yeah, that's not a problem. Besides that, money aside, do you feel like this could be the answer for you? Yeah, I do. Well, why do you feel like it is? Well, because of this, because of that, because of this. Okay, and I can appreciate that money might be an issue from what you told me. I guess, how do you think you can resolve that so you can find the funding so that you can, and you repeat back what they said they wanted? Now, I don't know what you sell in high ticket coaching. If you told me, I could have done that for you, but I don't know. You didn't tell me. Come on. Okay. They're like, well, I don't know. I could maybe do this, or maybe if they can't, usually they can come up with a way like, oh, maybe I can put on a credit card. Maybe I can get it for my 401k. If they can't come up with a way, then you simply say, well, what other avenues do you have to find the funding so that you can, and you repeat back the second thing they said they wanted. Okay. Let's say if you sold like Amazon, I say, I don't know what you're selling in high ticket, right? We train thousands in that, but there's many different types of programs in that industry, right? But let's say if you sold an Amazon SBA program, they want to find their own start their own business, make more money, have more time. And that's not a problem. I guess what other avenues do you have to find the funding so you can start your own business where you could make more money? See, I'm repeating back what they said they wanted. You see what I mean by that? Now, if they can't come up with ways, well, what other avenues do you have to find the funds so that you can, like you had said, have more time at home with your kids? That's the second thing they said they wanted. See how I'm applying them getting the funding with them getting what they want, the end result. If they can get the funds, they get what they want. If they can't get the funds, they don't get what they want. That gets them thinking results-based thinking over price or cost-based thinking. It's very important if you want to sell a lot more than you are right now. Now, if they still can't come up with ways, because by the way, all of this times 10,000s in our virtual training courses. So if you were one of our clients, you wouldn't lose sales like this anymore. So you might want to message me if you just want to stop losing sales like that, because we have clients in your industry that make 50, 60, 80 grand a month in commissions now after going through our virtual training courses and group training. Okay. Now, if they still can't come up with ways, then you make a suggestion. Can I make a suggestion, John? Yeah, what I can do is I can show you the avenues that our other clients use to find the funding if they don't have it themselves. And you'll have to see if you have some of those same avenues if you're wanting to, and you repeat back what they said they wanted. See how easy that is? So, we'll have clients that will go out, they'll do it on, they'll get a loan through their bank, their lending institution. In fact, we have some third-party lenders that loan capital to members. As long as you have a credit score of 700 or above, they'll give you funding to XYZ. Or if you have like a family member or co-signer that does, if you want to get funds for this, whatever this range is, you have to have a 650 or above, or a family member or a co-signer does. Why do I say a family member or a co-signer? Because it gives them an idea if they don't have the credit, that maybe their spouse or one of the other families can get it as well. Okay, you got to be able to get co-signers in your space, or otherwise you're going to get killed sometimes. You have other members that do like they'll put it on credit cards, and once they once they start making sales from X, Y, and Z, they just pay it off quickly so they avoid the interest. You have others that use like a 401k home equity line of credit. What are those avenues do you have so that you can, and repeat back what they said they wanted? Okay. That's how you overcome the money objection. Now, there's still some other things you have to do after that. So message me directly if you want to acquire those skills so you don't lose sales that our clients who sell what you do make every single freaking day. Okay? Message me directly if you want those skills. All right? Now, let's keep going. Oh my gosh. Throwing this over here. Okay, let's go over here. What's up, my boy? What's good? Somebody on Facebook user. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go to TikTok. We got to share the love here. Hi, can you answer some of my questions? Well, what's your questions? How do you sell hospice? Okay. Well, do you want me to give you a 3-hour training on how to sell hospice? Well, what part? You got to be more specific. I'd love to answer your question, but you got to be more specific than how do you sell hospice? Well, let's start with what part of the sales process are you talking about? Okay. Carter, how to sell cybersecurity and SMB with prospects that are used to cheap software. Okay, Carter, we train a lot of people, a lot of very big companies out of San Francisco that sell cybersecurity, some big names that you probably know about that have quite literally quadrupled revenue since we took over training the reps. So we've got salespeople that sell cybersecurity that make $1 million+ a year in commissions. Okay. And sometimes they sell to SMB, sometimes they sell to large enterprise, sometimes they sell to banks like Wells Fargo and Bank of America. The only way that you're going to be able to learn how to sell cybersecurity is by learning how to build a massive gap from where that prospect is, that company is, compared to where they want to be. That gap can only be built by you acquiring the right skills, by learning NEPQ. If you were one of our clients, you wouldn't even be asking me this question, I can assure you, because we train tons of people in your space. That's all in our virtual training platform and our group coaching that we have with our sales trainers and myself. Okay. You want to acquire those skills, message me directly right now. But you have to learn how to build a gap. Right now, what that tells me with your question is you don't know how to learn. You haven't acquired yet. I mean, these are skills you acquire, right? It's not like you're born with these type of skills. It's not your fault. You were forced to learn how to sell a certain way that doesn't work in that industry, as you know, because that's why you're asking me that question. So you have to help the prospect find problems in their mind that they didn't even know they had. And not only help them find one problem, because here's the thing. Most of your prospects, as all of you know in any industry listening to me, when you first start talking to them, don't even know they have a problem, right? Or maybe they know they have a problem, but they don't really understand how bad the problem really is, right? Or maybe they don't understand the consequences of what happens if they don't do anything about solving that problem, okay? So once you learn NEPQ, neuro emotional persuasion questions, you can help them build a gap where not only do you help them find that they have one problem, but now you've able to help them find 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 other problems. That creates a much bigger gap. So even if they're used to buying cheap software, now they realize they need a much bigger budget because now they've realized they've got several other problems that they didn't even know they had before they got in that initial conversation with you. That triggers their brain to trust you, to view you as an expert, as a trusted authority. You're not telling them what their problems are because that goes in one ear out the other because you're the salesperson, you're biased. Your questioning ability allows them to tell themselves what problems they have and where they really want to be. And when that gap is that big, I can assure you, they'll quadruple, they'll 10x their budget to solve problems they didn't realize they had. Because once they realize the consequences of what will happen if they don't solve the problems, it's way more expensive to go through those consequences than it is to fix those problems before they even happen. Okay. Message me directly if you want more details on that, because there's a lot more that you need to learn on that. I wouldn't have time to do a full training on that. NEPQ for the win, the Medicare guy must be one of our clients. In a disco call, for example, I don't know what that question is. Your DMs are automated. No, they're not. I promise you. I still love you, Harrison Hickey, but our DMs are not automated. How would a cold call scenario go? Well, for what industry? I don't know what you mean. Hospice sales to doctors, help. Got to give me more details. How do you sell to doctors in hospice? Well, what part? Are you talking about when walking into the office? Are you calling them on the phone? You got to be more specific. Give me more context. Okay, do you train for medical staffing, calling on facilities, seeing if they need a third-party help? Yes, Ryan. So Ryan, you might not be aware of this. Our company is probably one of the top 5 largest sales training companies in the United States of America right now. Okay, there's a big article about to be written about us in Selling Power magazine. It's the biggest sales training magazine in the world, actually. Now, Inc. Where's that damn Inc. thing? So this Inc. back here. So Inc. magazine, whatever they're called. So they ranked us the last 2 years, so 2021 and 2020, both years, and it's not us saying it, just go look it up, as the fastest. We're in for our category, sales training, we're the number 1 fastest growing sales training company in the United States. Now, I don't know what we are in the world because we don't know where a worldwide ranking is, but you have to submit your financials to Inc. magazine, and they have this like top 5,000 list of the fastest growing any company in the world. We were ranked number 391 in the United States this year. There's like 6 million people, 6 million businesses that apply for that. We were ranked number 391 fastest growing, that of any industry in the United States, and number 1 fastest growing sales training company. So we train every industry, to answer your question. So according to Forbes, there's only 158 different industries, just so you're aware, and there's subsets of each one, yours included. And we train tons of people. I've seen tons of testimonials from people in medical staffing for sure. So hopefully that answers your question. Another TikTok. I sell ads on billboards and getting new clients has been a challenge. How would you go about that? Well, okay, once again, why is it a challenge? Okay, do your prospects have problems? Yes. Does your solution solve those problems? Yes. Then what's the missing link? Like if your prospects have problems, your solution solves those, why are they not buying from you? That's on the salesperson, right? That's our responsibility. So what that tells me is, I mean, all your prospects have problems, but it's the way you've been forced to sell to them that's triggering sales resistance, not building a big enough gap so they don't view the problem that bad. And the cost seems too expensive because they don't view that they have a problem, because your questioning ability, you've not quite learned yet. It's not your fault. You were forced to learn a different way how to build that gap. Okay. We train tons of salespeople that sell billboards that make 15, 20, 30, 40 grand a month in commissions. Okay. They weren't making that when they first started the training. I can pretty much assure you that. So message me directly. You want to learn those skills, because your question, how would I go about doing that? I mean, well, do you want me to train you for the next 3 hours how to do that? Because there's not just like, oh, just say this and everybody will buy. There's like step-by-step questions you have to ask for your industry. Sorry, I couldn't help you more. Message me directly, okay? Let's see. Okay, I work for ADT Home Security, but train thousands in that industry. Eric, did you know you're on YouTube? My first sales job was selling home security systems door to door. I know that industry like the back of my hand. I actually made about $100,000 a month selling home security systems door to door when I was a 22-year-old college kid. Once I acquired the right skills, because my background is behavioral science and human psychology in college, I took that into my sales process, became the #1 salesperson in the industry for like 5 years straight, and then I left that industry. Okay. I was making over $1 million a year in commission. So I know that like the back of my hand. Sometimes I have difficulty getting over DIY brands, even though I reframe the conversation, but don't get enough time up front to build the complete value. You're going to have to be more, you're going to have to give me more context. I'm sorry. I don't know. Do you do door to door? Are you in the home? And what do you mean by what is he?
Do it yourself.
Do it yourself brands? Oh, like the Ring thing or something like that. Well, what are the consequences if they have a do it for yourself brand? Like, what are the consequences of that? We didn't have that. Like when I was selling home security 20 years ago, I guess they have that. You could put up your own sensors and stuff. It just wasn't monitored with the monitoring center, right? So tell me, what are the consequences? What are the consequences if they have a DIY brand that's not connected where it actually calls to the police? Like, what are the consequences of that? Do you know? Okay, you got to find that out. I sell financial investments to message me directly too, Erica. We can give you training options for your industry if you want to sell a lot more. We train tons of people in your space. So we even have training calls specifically for door-to-door salespeople, just so you know. We have some of our best students who make $50,000 to $100,000 a month in commissions that we have taught how to apply NEPQ to their industry, and they train for us now every single week in group training. So hit us up if you want to know about that. I sell financial investments to inbound leads. What is the best way to start scaling up to 50 to 70K in commissions? Well, learn more advanced skills. That's obviously the best way. We train tons of people in your industry that are multimillionaires now that work for companies as financial investment advisors. Now, they weren't wealthy when they started with us a couple of years ago, okay? But they've learned how to build that gap from where the prospect is compared to where they want to be, like we've talked about. And that took them from maybe making $5,000 or $10,000 a month to 25 or 30, and then 35 to 40, then 50 to 60, 60 to 80. Okay. It's all about building the gap. Okay. If you don't know the right questions in that conversation with the right tone, especially because you're probably, if you want to learn how to sell to more sophisticated buyers and be able to actually make a cold call to a sophisticated buyer and have them open up and not try to shut you down, you're going to have to do what? Well, if you keep saying what you're saying now and asking the same questions you are now that's gotten you only to this, how can you ever get you to this? It can't. You have to learn more advanced skills above that. So message me directly right now. We train thousands in your industry as well that crush it, okay? I can pretty much assure you, if you went up against, if let's say one of your prospects was talking to one of our clients who sells what you do, and you're using like old school techniques you've been forced to learn, and they're using NEPQ, I can pretty much assure you I know who's going to get that deal. Okay? Just saying. Message me if you want to learn. All right. How do you overcome the "we don't work with your company" objection? Typically, the response, you guys call it all the time. So if they're like, oh, hey, I see, I understand. I think I understand your question in a more logistics phrase. Thank you for clarifying. All right. So if you do a cold call, and like, oh, hey, we're not interested. We already have a company for that. I think that's the objection you're getting. First of all, you have to disarm the prospect. Let me talk about that for a second. Right. You have to learn. Yeah, you can see that. How to disarm the prospect. How do you get them to let their guard down? Okay. Because anytime you do a cold call, their guard is up immediately. When they know it's a salesperson, like guards up, sales resistance. You could be calling them saying, you just won $500 million. You just have to come down to the office and pick up the check. And they're like, I'm not interested. It's just a knee-jerk reaction. All right. So how do you get them to let their guard down? We call that the ABDs of selling. All right. Always be disarming. Always be disarming. You guys, see, here's your problem. You guys have been forced to follow the ABCs of closing. And that's why everybody you're talking to feels like you're just trying to close them, and they give you sales resistance. We teach our clients to always be disarming. How do you disarm the prospect from the start of that sales conversation or process to the very end of that sales process when they're sending the funds in your company, buying what you're offering? Okay. How do you disarm them with the right questions at the right time, or they close themselves? So do you want to learn how to disarm your prospects, or do you want to keep triggering sales resistance by them thinking you're just have commission breaths trying to stuff your solution down their throat? Well, I can tell you during my 17-year sales career before I retired and started 7th Level 4 years ago, I made a bit under 33 million in straight commissions as either a W-2 or 1099 salesperson, probably like you watching me here. Do you know why I did that? You know why I outsold everybody else in the industry? And we're talking thousands of people in 4 different industries, 2 B2C, 2 B2B. Well, I knew how to disarm my prospects. That's the one thing I knew. And I knew how to do it better than anybody else in any of the industries. You learn that, you get in our training, you learn this, selling becomes really, really simple, really, really easy. Your prospects will quite literally thank you. They will cry that you are allowing them to send you funds to purchase what you're offering, to solve their problems and get them where they want. They're thanking you. They don't even feel like you're a salesperson. Do you want to learn, do you want to acquire those skills where your prospects don't even feel you're trying to sell them? If you do, message me directly right now. Okay, so going back to that question. So if they're like, I got sidetracked. So if they're like, oh, I'm not interested. We already have somebody for that. Oh, yeah, you guys call the time. I'm not interested. We already have a vendor like that. Oh, yeah, John, I apologize. I didn't mean to offend you. And just so you're aware, I'm not quite sure we can even help you yet. We'd have to understand a little bit more about kind of, what you're using now for X and Y and Z and the results you're getting from that compared to maybe where you're wanting the result to be. So we can kind of see if there's a gap there at all, just to see if we can help, because maybe you're better off staying with who you already have. Are you opposed to having a brief conversation around that? Now, what did I just do there? I'm disarming the prospect. I have to get their guard down, because if I can't get their guard down, click, 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 click. That gets annoying, right? But if I get them to let their guard down, oh, yeah, watch what I do here. Let's analyze it. Oh, yeah, John, I apologize. I didn't mean to offend you. Oh, you didn't offend me. That's what they're going to say. You didn't offend me. See, I'm letting go of the guard where they're like coming this way instead of pushing back. Oh, no, John, if I could have 2 minutes of your time, I could show you how to save money. Click. See, you're triggering sales resistance. We teach our clients to disarm that where they don't have sales resistance. You see how selling can be much easier if your prospects don't put up a wall? If they're actually open? Well, you have to learn how to do that. You have to know how to do that, the tonality. Message me directly if you want that. Oh, yeah, John, I apologize. I didn't mean to offend you. And just so you're aware, I'm not quite sure we can even help you yet. See how I act confused? I'm not quite sure we could even help you yet. You pause 2 seconds, okay? Very important, verbal pausing. We teach all that in our virtual training as well. If you don't know how to verbal pause, you are quite literally losing sales every single week that our clients who are in the same industry as you sell every single week, because you don't know how to verbal pause. You don't know where to do it. You can acquire that skill if you want to. It's easy once you learn, okay? Oh, I'm not quite sure we can even help you yet. We'd have to understand a little bit more about, kind of what you're using now for X and Y and Z, the results you're getting from that compared to maybe where you're wanting it to be, just to see kind of what that gap looks like, if any, to see if we can actually help, because maybe you're better off staying with who you already have. Are you opposed to having a conversation around that? Now, when I say because maybe you're better off staying with who you already have, what does that do? Gets them to let their guard down. So many salespeople think like, oh, well, that lacks confidence. If I tell them I know we can help them and I know I've got the solution, they're just going to say, oh, you do? You know? Okay, well, if you know, then sure, sign up. We all know that's not true. We have to get them to let their guard down. I have to admit that maybe we can't even help them. When we do that, they let their guard down. They become more open. Do you want to sell to somebody that's more open or more somebody that's shut down? Well, I can tell you, I wouldn't have made even 5% of what I made over my sales career if I didn't know how to disarm prospects. And you can acquire that skill. I can tell you, you'll make 300% more than what you're making now. Really easy, okay? Because you won't get rejected on all your calls like most salespeople do in your industry. Our clients don't. It's easy for them. Now, because maybe you're better off staying with who you already have. Are you opposed to having a conversation around that? Now, why would I say opposed rather than open? because on a cold call, they already want to say no. Their natural inclination is to say no. So when I say, are you opposed to having a conversation around that, a brief conversation around that? No, I'm not opposed. What do you have? 9 out of 10 times they say, no, I'm not opposed. What do you got? And they start to open up. But if you say, would you be open? I'm not really sure if I'd be open. Okay. Because they're already wanting to say no. See, in our training, we actually teach you what works. We train you how to disarm them by using techniques that work with human behavior, like saying opposed because they already want to say no. No, I'm not opposed. See, they already want to do that. See that? Hopefully that answered your question, okay? UK, inbound spray foam and solar. My main issue with both products, this is YouTube, Dan, is getting the customer to believe what I'm offering will be the solution. Okay, that's a downstream issue. Why do you have a problem getting your prospects to believe that? It's probably because you're telling them problems they have and how you solve that. You're going into your pitch too early. You're talking about your solution too early before ever knowing what questions to ask to help them see what problems they even have. If you can't build the gap by asking certain questions with the right tone where they want to open up. See, here's what we have to understand. Your prospects are not just going to answer your questions without you getting them to want to answer the questions. Like, you've got to get permission from them to go below the surface. If you don't know how to do that, like, your prospect's not just going to sit there for 20 minutes and let you ask them 25 consultative questions that are surface level questions, because they're going to feel like you're interrogating them. Like the FBI showed up, the police, and you're interrogating them. They're like, hey, just get to the point. How much is this going to cost? I'm going to tell you if I'm interested. See, that tells me it's not your fault. You were forced to learn it this way. That tells me you have a downstream issue. That tells me you're asking questions that probably sound a little bit scripted, a little too much consultative, okay? And then you're sitting back listening to the answer. And then at the end you say, okay, cool, awesome. That sounds good. Let me ask you. See, that sounds scripted. We want to sound natural. So instead of saying stuff like that, okay, can you walk me through, like, what do you guys use for X and Y and Z? Now, see, spray foam and solar, that's two different things here. So I'm assuming you save money in their electricity bills, right? Solar, we train thousands in solar. I know we train people that sell spray foam and insulation, because I've written scripts for that, and solar as well. Train thousands actually in solar. We train solar. I bet you we have thousands of salespeople that make at least 500,000 a year or more in solar alone. At least thousands of clients that do that in solar. Okay. Anyways, that's, if you want, hey, Dan, if you want to know more details about our training for your industry, join our free Facebook group, salesrevolution.pro, salesrevolution.pro. And right when you get in there, somebody can message you more details in your Facebook DMs, okay? Because we can't message you on YouTube. It won't allow us to, okay? Now, what you want to do there with that. So let me give you an example. What would be like a solar? Okay, can you walk me through like your electricity bills? Can you walk me through typically what you're paying in the summer months for those? Okay, And what about the winter? Oh, I see. Okay, but walk me back for a second. See when they're answering, I'm saying, okay, oh, all right. See, those are verbal cues. That's called verbal cues. Okay. Let me show you what I mean by this. This is really important. All right. You have to learn how to verbal cue. This is verbal cues. Verbal cue, and then you ask the question. Okay. This is called bridging. You have to bridge from question to question. Now, the way you bridge from question to question to make it natural is by verbal cues. When they're answering, you say, okay. Okay, but when you said blank, what did you mean by that? See how I cut in because I asked a verbal cue, and then that led me to the question. Now, if I sat back and went like this, and I just listened, and they talk, and they talk, and they talk, and I just sat there and listen, and then at the end I say, okay, cool, gotcha. I'm curious, John, let me ask you. It sounds scripted. It doesn't sound natural, right? But if I'm sitting there like, oh, okay. Okay, but walk me through, like, what type of rate hikes have they given you in the last 12 months, though? Oh, okay, about 8%. Yeah, your neighbors were saying that theirs went up by 12%. Are you sure yours not 12 over 8? Okay, can you show me the bill? Possibly I can show you if it's because you might be right, but the Jones, they were saying 12%. Okay, I see. Okay. And how old is your roof right now? See, it's just natural from one question to the other. I'm just bridging through my questions where the prospect just feels like they're an engaging conversation and it triggers them to open up. It triggers trust instead of triggering them to stay surface level. Because if they stay surface level, what do they do at the end of the conversation? Sounds good. And I'm still getting some quotes, still looking around at some other companies. Give me a week, a month, a year. I'll call you back if we're interested. And you're done. You don't want that. Message me directly right now if you want to learn how to sell, because we train tons of people in your space that make big money. Okay. Question, JT on YouTube. You're the best sales guy around. I don't know. Am I? Why don't you make money as a luxury realtor? I guess I could. Do you want me to quit the sales training company? Not train you guys anymore? I'll just go sell real estate. I can do that. Guess I'd have to move to like New York City or London. I don't know if I'd want to live there though. People actually told me that when I was in my career. I made a bit under 33 million in straight commissions during my 17-year sales career. Had I sold luxury real estate, I probably would have made triple that. But hey, it is what it is. Had I done that, I probably would have never came out of retirement to start 7th level to train you. So you wouldn't acquire any more skills. So you're welcome that I didn't sell luxury real estate. Hope that helps. I actually really enjoy what we do. And, the company does pretty well financially for sure. We're like the 5th largest sales training company in the United States now. On our growth patterns, within about 5 years, we'll be the biggest sales training company in the U.S. Okay. The biggest sales training company I know in the U.S. does about $290 million a year in revenue. We're on pace to do more than that in about 5 years with our current growth rates. So anyways, that's because our clients get tons of results. We have thousands of testimonies. We have over 11,000 right now. And now we're getting really big companies that come to us, even politicians coming to us, wanting us to train them. So we'll see what happens. But hey, I guess if it doesn't work out, I can always go sell luxury real estate. But then you won't be able to get trained. What are we going to do? All right, there you go. I'm always sarcastic with you guys. Let's see. What other questions do I have here on TikTok? Okay, same thing. Dean, getting doctors to choose my hospice company over other companies. Okay, but once again, that's too generalized of a question. Okay, we don't say one word or one sentence, one thing, and then they're all going to sign up. I don't know what you're saying to connect with them. What are you saying to find out their current situation? What are you saying to help them find what problems they have? Like, the sales process is not like a 1 or 2 line thing and you're going to be rich or poor. It's a process from the connecting stage to the situation stage, to the problem awareness stage, to the solution awareness stage, to the consequence stage, to the presentation, to getting them to commit to take smaller steps to take the final decision of purchasing what you're offering. Tell me specifically what you're doing and ask a question around that. I can help you a lot better. I love your question. I know you're trying to do that, but your questions are too generalized, too generic for me to sit there and answer. I'd be throwing mud against the wall right now. Okay. IT sales, I love your content. Thank you, Peter. You're very nice. Let's see. The legend himself. Oh, you guys are too nice on TikTok. How much are they losing by not using your service? So it's losing more money than not buying it. So if you just help show them. Okay, that's not a question. Okay, perfect. All right, let's go to a couple more questions. I don't have much more time. I've got an appointment here. Miguel, hey, Jeremy, I texted you on Instagram. I just spoke with John from 7 Level. I'm excited to join the team. Miguel? Yeah, which training program are you getting to? Are you getting into like advanced NEPQ 3.0, advanced inner circle? Which program are you getting here? Let's see. Crystal Reese, how do you sell, this is from YouTube, how do you sell window installations for a home, like set an appointment for a free estimate? Okay, Crystal, too vague of a question. I need to know specifically, like, are you saying like, I'm in a home and what's my first connecting question I need to ask? Then I can show you. Like, you got to be more specific with your questions. How do you sell window installations? Well, we train thousands of people that are in your industry. We've got salespeople that sell because you're in the home improvement industry, like windows, even kitchens, even bathrooms, porches. We all consider that the home improvement industry. I just interviewed a guy in our Facebook group about 2 months ago. His name's Bill Farmer, who now makes over $80,000 a month in commissions selling windows. And a year and a half ago, he was already doing good. He's making like 20 grand a month. He's went from 20 grand a month to over 80 to 90,000 a month in commissions, basically about $1 million a year, just so you know. Okay. So Christo, if you want to acquire those skills, message me directly. Are you in our Facebook group? You can't message me on YouTube because we can't message you on there. So you got to join our free Facebook group. Go to salesrevolution.pro. Go to salesrevolution.pro because we go live in there 3 or 4 times a week, different Q&As, different training. We give you little nibbles, like little hors d'oeuvres. But if you want advanced training like our clients are who quite literally crush your industry, some of them are, they're millionaires now. And they work for companies. They don't own the company. The company owners are making even more. That's a whole nother story. But just join our free Facebook group and message me in there, and we can give you some training options for industry because I need more specific question than that. I'm Car Sales. What is the best script about people asking for the best price? Well, first of all, how are you guys pricing your cars? Let me give you a few examples, okay? So my background is behavioral science. So I have taken a lot of courses in university and obviously outside of universities from psychology professors from NYU that are the world's greatest, even here at Arizona State University, because our corporate headquarters in the U.S. are here in Scottsdale. Robert Cialdini, taking many of his courses down there. Many of his books too. Books, they're only just a little bit compared to actually taking courses. Daniel Pink. One thing you have to understand when you price the car, if you want the prospect to negotiate with you far less, here's what you want to do. On the sticker of the car, you never want to put let's say the car, most car dealerships will be $41,500. Okay. Instead, put $41,571. Do you know psychologically what that does to most of your prospects? If you have an even number like $41,000 or $41,500, they think that price, they can negotiate that down because it's just like a thrown out price. It's just like a random price. But if you're like $43,231, they negotiate far less. Do you know why? Because they feel like that odd of a weird number, that there must be some cost in there. So a lot of people won't even negotiate with you. That's one thing you can do. Okay, I learned that from Robert Cialdini himself. Okay, he's the head of psychology professors here at Arizona State University. Okay, that's one thing you can do on the sticker price that will reduce. They did a study on that actually reduced people trying to negotiate with car dealerships by almost 50% when they had weird looking prices on there. I'm not kidding you. It's crazy, but it's so true. All right. So when they say what's the best price you can do? Well, typically what we have on there, we've already lowered down because it's the $41,231 because we have a lot of costs in there. But you must have asked me that for a good reason, or what's behind that question, just so I understand. And then they're going to tell you why they asked. Now, depending on why they asked is what the real concern is, and then you have to help them overcome that. And we teach all that in our virtual training courses. In fact, we teach, part of that is we have a course now called the Word for Word Top 50 Objection Obliteration Script. So we have a whole virtual course just on the top 50 objections you'll ever get. That's probably one in there, the price objection. So you want to get your hands on that. That's a 4 or 5 hour video, a virtual training course plus all the scripts. That's only on objections. Okay. That's not even included in our 3.0 or 2.0 courses, but we have courses really for everything. So message me directly if you want to learn more about that. Okay. Glenn, this is a good question on Facebook. How can I increase my furniture sales closing percentage? Average is 31%. I want to get it to over 40. Well, Glenn, are you one of our clients? Because if you're one of our clients, we train a ton of people in furniture sales too. I just saw a testimonial come through of a guy in furniture sales that's now making over $30,000 a month in commissions. Do you know how much he was making a year ago when he started in our program? About $4,000 to $5,000 a month. He now makes over $30,000 a month. Okay. I don't know what his closing percentages are, but that's about 6 times higher than what he was making before. So if you're not making at least $30,000 to $35,000 a month in commissions with the way you sell now, message me directly, and I can give you different training options for your industry if you want to increase your closing percentages probably well above 40%, because I'm sure he closes well above 50 to 60% making that type of money. I think he might even be making more than that. I'm not sure. I think he was saying he was averaging between like 30 and 35,000 a month just a while ago, but he kept going up every single month. So next month he might be up over 40 grand a month in commissions. Okay. Guys, I love you. I know there's about 100 other questions, but I have a meeting right now. I'm already late. I was supposed to be on that meeting 9 minutes ago, and people are texting me like, where are you at? Okay, you guys want to start acquiring skills that work with human behavior? You want to be like our clients who sell in the same exact industry that you are, that are kicking your ASS. Excuse my language. I don't like to cuss. They're not kicking your ASS because they look cooler, or they have really cool hair, or their ears are not big like mine, or they wear cool shoes. They're just kicking your ASS because they've acquired more advanced skills. That's what separates them from you. And they're in the same industry as you are. I can assure you, we are training salespeople and companies in your industry that make 3, 4, 5 times more than what you're making now. They brush their teeth in the morning. They drink water. They're human beings. They eat food. They have trials in their lives. They have family problems. None of that matters on your sales ability. Once you acquire the right skills, none of that, it doesn't matter. Okay, they're in the same situation that you're in. They just have more skills they've acquired. That's why they make 3 to 5 times more than you are. You want to start making 10 grand a month in commissions in your industry, 15, 20 grand a month every month in your industry, 30 grand a month every month in your industry. With what you sell now, message me directly right now on TikTok. If you're on the TikTok phone, message me directly right now. If you're in LinkedIn or the Facebook group or my Facebook business page, message me directly right now. If you're on YouTube, post hashtag NEPQ. Post hashtag NEPQ, and we'll message you back directly right now. Hey, Jeremy, have you worked much with the horticulture industry? Yes. Train lots of people in that industry as well, Reagan. Reagan, we quite literally train every single industry on planet Earth. The only industry we do not train in is the underwater basket weaving industry. If anybody has any connections in the underwater basket weaving industry, let us know. It's the only industry we cannot crack. I love messing with you guys. Yes, we train lots of people in there too. Okay, Eric, I remember that when you're doing the podcast with Sam Taggart on Brad Lee podcast. Yeah, I love Sam, love Brad. Good friends with both of them. Great guys. All right, everybody, thanks. We'll see you next week. I'll go live probably once or twice next week with Thanksgiving, probably live on Tuesday inside the Facebook group. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, go to salesrevolution.pro, salesrevolution.pro. I'll even be nice. I'll type it in for you just so you don't have to lose it. Salesrevolution.pro. You can join the Facebook group for free. All right, get out of here. I got things to do. See you guys. Things to do, people to see, babies to hug. Handshakes to shake. All right, guys, get out of here. We'll see you next week. Message me directly right now.